Good afternoon and welcome to Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey for Pope John Lions baseball. Mike Forzano along with you, calling today's game between the Pope John Lions boys baseball team and the Randolph Rams. This was supposed to be a game that was played yesterday at Randolph High School, and the scheduled game was for tomorrow right here at Pope John. However, the rain out caused a little switch in the schedule, and so they bumped up the Pope John game here at Pope John High School to today and moved the game at Randolph to tomorrow. The Lions 1-2 on the season, and they lost to High Point on Friday by a score of 8-3. They got their first victory against Morris Knowles on Wednesday of last week. Meanwhile, Randolph 3-3 on the season, and they covered the Pope John at 500. We'll go over lineups, and we'll go over defensive alignment for Pope John and first pitch right after this on Pope John Lions TV on YouTube. Coming back for action between Pope John and Randolph. Welcome back to Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey for Pope John Lions baseball. Mike Forzano along with you calling today's game. We're having some difficulties with the camera behind home plate because of the wind. It is really windy, and it's blowing in from center field. If we have to, we'll move to just outside the third base dugout. But for right now, we're going to try and hold it behind home plate. So you get the netting behind here. So let's go over the lineup for Randolph. We start with number 1, Mason Wilson. He's playing second base. Batting second, playing shortstop, is number 7, A.J. Terry. Batting third, catcher, number 8, Chase Lorenz. Batting fourth, the pitcher and DH, number 23, Andrew Dobus. Batting fifth for Randolph is number 16, Andrew Swanik. He's playing center field. Batting sixth, Sal Modolo, playing left field. The seventh hitter in the lineup, number 13, Joey Bustino. Batting eighth, number 11, Griffin Carroll, playing third base. And batting ninth, Matthew Brun, playing right field. And again, this wind kicking up like this, I'm going to move over to just outside the dugout because we cannot get a view with the net. So we do what we can, and we move over here. The net is just blowing too hard today. So in the meantime, for Pope John, the defensive alignment, at first base, number 32, Evan Johnson. Second base, Nick Struble, number 3. Third baseman is Brody O'Hara, number 5. Shortstop, Will Ryan, and he is number 20. Left fielder, Miles Basone, number 53, playing left field. Center field, Joseph Banco, number 31. And in right field, number 11, Jack Portman. Behind the plate doing the catching, number 4, Andrew Pammy. And on the hill for today, number 50, Beckett Weeks. So here we go. First hitter of the game, number 1, Mason Wilson, the second baseman for Randolph, as we get set for baseball here. Cold day, windy conditions, wind blowing in from center field. You can see the jerseys fluttering, and that's the reason why we moved from behind home plate. Most games will try and get behind home plate. Today, it's not happening. So we'll just go ahead and do it from just outside the Pope John dugout. Weeks looks in. First hitter of the game, Mason Wilson. First pitch. Fouled off, out of play. Right behind where we were standing, so probably a good idea why I moved. 0-1 to Wilson. Rams 3-3 on the season. Pope John 1-2. Victory last week against Morris Knowles 7-2 in the second half of back-to-back. Here's Weeks. Pitch. High. Ball 1. 1-1 to the second baseman from Randolph. Now the pitch. High. 2-1. Weeks looks in. Here's a delivery. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. So the count's even against the second baseman. Now the pitch. In there. Called strike 3. So Wilson goes down looking. Weeks has his first out of the game. And now the second hitter, number 7, shortstop A.J. Terry. Weeks looks in. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 1.
Try to get that down or in on?
I got a little bit of both.
Yep.
Weeks into the wind. Fouled off. 1-1. On deck for Randolph, number 8, Chase Laurent, catcher. Now the pitch. High fly ball, way back. Left center field. It's going to fall in front of the fence and bounce over the fence, and we have ourselves a ground rule double. So a smash by number 7, A.J. Terry. Just bounced over the fence. Just came up short of going over the left center field fence. And now the batter, number 8, Chase Laurent. So runner on second, 1 down. Now Pammy out to talk to his pitcher. We're in the top of the first, no score. Leadoff strikeout by Weeks, and then A.J. Terry with a double in left center field. Ground rule double. Here's the pitch. Fouled off, out of play. Oh, 1 to Laurent. On deck for Randolph, the pitcher, number 23, Andrew Dobris.
Here we go. Hey.
Now the delivery. High fly ball down the right field line. First baseman going after it. Won't get there. Number 32, Evan Johnson, gave it a run, but it goes foul. 0-1. Check that 0-2.
Execute, you're way ahead. Execute.
Runner on second, 1 down. 0-2 count to Laurent. Here's a pitch.
Good pitch.
High, ball 2. Weeks looks in. Here's a 1-2 pitch.
Yep.
High fly ball, right center field. Center fielder, no, the right fielder Portman will call off. Manko makes the catch. 2 down.
Not you. Weeksy on that one. Get over there. Not done yet. Let's go.
So 2 outs now here in the top of the first. A.J. Terry on second, and the batter is the pitcher, number 23, Andrew Dobris.
Ball. How many?
4. Come on.
Here you go. Generator went out.
Dobris steps in.
No, that's not. I know that.
Weeks looks in, checks the runner at second. Here's the pitch.
Boy.
Inside, in there, called strike. 0-1.
Brody, backward.
Hey, 2, 3, let's go, kid.
Right there, drop. Right there.
Pick one and drive here, kid. Let's go. 2, 3, 8.
Now Weeks at the belt.
What's that for you?
Here's the pitch.
No problem.
High. Terry on second for Randolph. 2 outs. On deck, number 16, Andrew Swanwick. Now Weeks. Pitch.
Good pitch.
In there, called strike. Now the delivery. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Weeks gets 2 strikeouts in the top of the first inning, and Randolph strands a runner at second. At the end of a half, it's the Rams, no score, Pope John coming back. We'll be back right after this on Pope John Lions TV on YouTube.
Good job, Joey.
Welcome back to Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey for Pope John Lions baseball. Mike Formasano along with you calling today's action as we have the Pope John Lions taking on the Randolph Rams. Leading off for Pope John today to be number 20, Will Ryan, the shortstop. Batting second, number 31, center fielder Joseph Manko. Batting third, number 11, Jack Portman. Portman will play right field. The cleanup hitter, number 3, second baseman Nick Struble. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 4, Andrew Pammy. Sixth is number 32, Evan Johnson. He's playing first base. The DH, Lucas Meseros, will bat seventh. He's number 54. Miles Masson playing left field and batting eighth. He's number 53. And batting ninth, third baseman, number 5, Brody O'Hara. President of the Catholic Academy of Sussex County is Father Michael Parisi. Principal of Pope John High School, Gene Emery. The athletic director, Brian McAleer. Athletic trainers, Gerard Graziano and Jordan Martin. The manager of the Pope John Lions baseball team is James Manko. Assistant coaches Ben Perez, Sean Bierman, Jeff Bubba, Dan Canicho, Justin Provost, and Peter Corcoran. Scorekeepers for today, Bree Perez and Maddie Dugan. I'm Mike Formasano. We're here live, Pope John High School. Bottom of the first, Pope John and Randolph, no score. Apologies for not being behind home plate as the wind has just been vicious today here at Pope John High School. It's blowing from center field. You can see the jerseys fluttering. So on the hill for Randolph, number 23, Andrew Dobris. and his battery mate catcher, Chase Lorette, number 8. We'll give you the rest of the infield and outfield in just a second. At the plate, Will Ryan. Foul. 0-1 to Will Ryan.
Here we go, William, bat.
So now the pitch by Dobrik. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Now Dobrik looks in. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Ryan goes down on strikes. Now the batter, Joseph Manco. One down here in the bottom of the first. Let's go with the defensive alignment for Randolph. First baseman, number 13, Joey Bostino. Or Bozatina. That's Joey Bozatina. Second base, Mason Wilson. In there, called strike. 0-1. At short, A.J. Terry, number 7. And the third baseman, Griffin Carroll. And he's number 11. The left fielder, Sal Madolo, number 3. Center field, Andrew Swanik, number 16. And in right, Matthew Brune, number 10. Here's the pitch to Manco. One and one. Now the pitch. Whoa. 2-1 to Manco. On deck, number 11, Jack Portman. And here's the pitch by Dobrik. In there, called strike. So counts even at 2-2. One down here, bottom of the first inning. No score between Pope John and Randolph. In there, called strike 3. So Manco goes down looking. 2 outs now, bottom of the first. And stepping to the plate, left-handed batter, number 11, Jack Portman. Last time we saw Portman, he was 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs last Wednesday against Morris Knowles. Also pitching 2 innings of relief of Miles Bassone. Struck out the side in the 6th. Pitches outside. On deck for Pope John. My apologies. On deck for Pope John, number 3, Nick Struble. Dobrik with the pitch. Outside. 2-0.
Come on, 40.
Dobrik at the belt. Now the pitch. In there, called strike. Dobrik looks in, the wide delivery. Squares the butt, pulls back, but it's in there for a called strike. So the count's even on Portman, 2-2. Now the pitch. High pop up down left field line, out of play. So 2-2 count. Dobrik at the belt. Here's the pitch. Grounder to third. Third baseman Fields. Fires across. Not in time. It's in the dirt. Gets away from the first baseman. But Portman's safe at first on an infield single. So number 11, Griffin Carroll, was able to field that, but get it across the diamond and not in time to get Portman. And it hit, well, it's turf. It looks like dirt, but we'll call it dirt, even though it's not. Now the hitter for Pope John, number 3, Nick Struble. He's got a runner on first and Jack Portman. 2 down here, bottom of the first. On deck, the catcher, Andrew Pammy.
Let's go, Scoop. Let's go,
Dobers checks Portman at first. Now the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Struble had a perfect day last Wednesday here at home against Morris Knowles. 4 for 4.
Let's go, kid.
Evan Johnson did the same. He was 3 for 3. Portman with a big lead off first. Dobers checks him. Now the pitch. Grounder to the shortstop. Fields flips the second in time for the force. And that's the end of the first inning. No score between Pope John and Randolph. We'll be back for top of the second action right after this on Pope John Lions TV on YouTube.
Winky. Be out here, baby. You're with us today. You gonna warm him up when Pam's not ready.
Welcome back to Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey for Pope John Lions baseball. Mike Formasano along with you, calling today's game between the Lions and the Randolph Rams. This was a game that was scheduled for tomorrow here at Pope John High School, but because of the rain out yesterday at Randolph, they've moved that game to tomorrow and bumped up tomorrow's game to today. So, top of the second, Beckett Weeks on the mound for the Lions for second inning of work. No scores. We start at the top of the second inning. The batter, number 16, center fielder, Andrew Swanek. Swanek is center fielder. He's a freshman in the lineup. Here's the first pitch from Weeks. Low, ball 1. Now Weeks at the belt. Pitch. In there. Call strike.
Keep going.
Now the pitch by Weeks. Strike 2. 1-2 to Swanek.
Just fill it up. Let's go.
On deck for Randolph, number 3, Sal Modolo. Now the pitch.
Yes, he did.
Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Strike 3. So Swanek down on strikes. 1 down here, top of the second inning. And now the batter, Sal Modolo. Modolo playing left field today for Randolph. On deck for the Rams, Joey Busatina, the first baseman. Weeks looks in. Here's the pitch. Outside. 1-0.
Let's go back in.
At the belt. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss. Here's Weeks. Into the wide. Now the pitch. Low.
Mom, hey, fill it up.
2-1.
Let's go.
With the rain out yesterday, moved a lot of activities here at Pope John around. The only team that did play was the lacrosse. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Count even now on Modolo. So this game moved to today, and the game at Randolph now tomorrow at Randolph. We'll see how it affects the rest of the schedule later on. Here's the pitch. Low. 3-2. Count full now on Modolo. Bossatina on deck for Randolph. The Rams 3-3, but don't let that fool you. The 2 losses that they've just had this past weekend against Don Bosco and number 4, Seton Hall Prep.
Right.
Outside. So Weeks loses Modolo. Runner on first, and now the batter for Randolph is Joey Bossatina. Junior first baseman, number 13.
Strike the ball. You good. Fill it up.
So 1 out here, top of the second. Weeks with the pitch. Outside, ball 1.
You good? Make the adjustment.
Dolo with a normal size lead over at first. Here's the pitch.
Good.
In there, called strike. Now the pitch by Weeks.
Good pitch. Good pitch.
2-1.
You're right on it. That boy.
Wind's starting to whip up again. According to the flag, it's blowing in from left field now, left to right. High pop-up out of play. It had been calm for about 4 or 5 minutes, and it is just going crazy right now.
Whatever you want. Whatever you want.
Windy, chilly April afternoon. Never predict the weather in April. 75 degrees about 10 days ago. Now it's 39. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes. So, Weeks notches another K. This time on Joey Bossatina. And the batter now, number 11, Griffin Carroll. Carroll Sr. playing third base today, batting 8th for Randolph. 2 outs here, top of the second. Weeks looks in. Runner goes. Here's the pitch. And he had the base stolen. Modolo was about halfway down there before the pitch came in. So, Weeks concentrating on the hitter. Stolen base for Modolo. You could mark it as defensive indifference, but... Now the pitch. Grounder to third. O'Hara fields it, fires across in time. And that's the 3rd out of the inning. After 1.5, it's no score between Pope John and Randolph. We'll be back to Pope John High School right after this on Pope John Lions TV on YouTube.
How many pitches? Beautiful day.
Let's go, boys. Jump on fast. Let's go. Come on. Let's go.
Is it?
Welcome back to Pope John High School for Pope John Lions baseball. Mike Formisano calling today's action as Pope John Lions are taking on the Randolph Rams in what is now the first half of a home and home. It was supposed to be the second half, but because of the rain out yesterday, that game's been moved to tomorrow, and the game for tomorrow has moved up to today. So we're here at Pope John High School for the first of these two. Tomorrow on the channel, we'll be at Scotch Plains Fanwood for boys lacrosse. The 5-0 Pope John Lions boys lacrosse team, varsity and JV, will be taking on Scotch Plains Fanwood, the Raiders, for first place in the Waterman division of the NJILL. More on that later. Dobers, first pitch to Pammy. Grounded to third. Third baseman Fields all the way across the diamond in time. Scored 5-3 in your books. Carroll with the throw across to Basatina. One down here, bottom of the second. Now the batter is number 32, Evan Johnson. On deck for Pope John, number 54, Lucas Meseros. Dobers looks into his battery mate, Chase Laurent. Here's the pitch. In there, call strike. 0-1 to Johnson. I mentioned Struble had a day last week, 4 for 4. Johnson did as well, 3 for 3 in the win against Morris Knowles. Here's the pitch. Low. 1-1 to the first baseman. Here's the pitch. Low. 2-1. Bottom of the second, 1 out, no score between Pope John and Randolph. Dobers with the pitch. Grounder, foul. Down the third base line, right in front of the Pope John dugout. Lions 1-2 on the season, Randolph 3-3. Now the pitch by Dobers. Grounded to third. Third baseman all the way across in time. So Carroll with 2 straight putouts. 5-3 again. And so now with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second, Lucas Meseros at the dish. On deck hitter, number 53, Miles Masson. Now Dobers looks in. Here's the pitch. Grounder right back through the middle. Base hit by Meseros. Nice clean single by the DH. And so now the left fielder, Miles Masson, at the plate. Zone last time we saw him, last Wednesday, got the win in 5 innings against Morris Knowles. Only 2 runs allowed. Nice pitching performance by him. Meseros on first. 1 down. Here's the pitch. Check that, 2 outs. So the count 1-0 to Mazone. On deck for Pope John, number 5, Brody O'Hara. O'Hara playing third base today. Here's the pitch by Dobers. High pop up. We'll stay in play. Catcher behind home plate. Makes the catch. So, Chase Laurent is able to nab that for the 3rd out of the inning. We're 3-2 here at Pope John High School. A windy, chilly day out here in April. No score between Pope John and Randolph. We'll be back for top of the 3rd action right after this on Pope John Lions TV on YouTube.
So after, if he boots the ball, he has a step and a reach to regain control of the ball. Thank you.
They don't know what they're doing. You been doing college games? You worked at Randolph. You go down first.
I wonder if Brett Bernie.
Weaksinator.
Dad just went through Cold
Hey, 912, 912.
Welcome back to Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey for Pope John Lions baseball. Mike Formasano along with you, calling today's action between the Pope John Lions and the Randolph Rams. Leading off for the Rams in the top of the third inning, number 10, Matthew Brune. Brune playing right field today, ninth batter in the lineup. Beckett Weeks on the mound for his third inning of action. Here's the pitch. Liner, second base. Fielded by the second baseman, Struble. Across in time. So one pitch, one out by Weeks.
Top.
Very efficient.
Top.
And now we go back to the top of the order. Number 1, Mason Wilson, the second baseman, at the dish.
Here we go. Cut it.
Nice clean scoop there by Struble to get the batter there. One out here, top of the third. Weeks looks in. Here's the pitch.
Good boy.
In there, called strike. 0-1 to Wilson. On deck for Randolph, A.J. Terry, the shortstop. Pitched by Weeks.
Good boy.
They held back, 1-1. Terry had a shot to left center field in the first inning. It landed one hop from the fence. It's a deep fence out there in left center field here at Pope John High School. So, missed a home run by maybe about 10 feet. Here's a pitch. Grounder, back to the middle. Struble with the backhand play. Throw to first in time. Nice backhand by Nick Struble. And he records the second out of the inning, throwing to Johnson 4-3. So whereas it was 5-3 the first 2 outs at the top of the second, with O'Hara going to Johnson, it's now Struble to Johnson for the first 2 outs. So now the batter, A.J. Terry. Shortstop for Randolph. Here's the pitch by Weeks. No, ball 1. On deck, the number 3 hitter, Chase Lorette, catcher for Randolph. Weeks looks in. Now fires. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Nice gas there by Weeks. Now the pitch. Outside. 2-1. 2 outs here, top of the third. It's been a pretty fast-moving game so far. Now the pitch. Ball 3. 3-1.
Hey, keep working. 3-1. Oh, fill it up, baby. Force contact. Right when it's going.
Here's Weeks with the pitch. Outside, ball 4. So Terry works a walk.
Hey,
And now the batter, number 8, Chase Lorentz.
Quick to the plate.
This game comes to you today on a scheduling change. We weren't supposed to be out here until tomorrow. But because of the rain out, they moved up this game to today. And my apologies. We were going to cover flag football at 5 o'clock here from Pope John High School. But we'll get them next time out. Here's the pitch.
Boy.
In there, called strike. 0-1. So to give you an update on what we're doing on the channel later this week now, because everything's kind of thrown out. So instead of going to the game at Randolph tomorrow, we're covering it today. And tomorrow, boys lacrosse on the channel. Here's the pitch. High. 2-1. Battle for first place in the Waterman division of the NJILL. 5-0 Pope John Boys Lacrosse, taking on Scotch Plains Fanwood. And then the JV afterwards. Weeks looks in. Throw back to first. Terry's back. On Thursday, nothing on the schedule, so if anything gets bumped and put on to Thursday, we'll pick it up. But otherwise, we'll be back here Friday at the softball fields. Pope John softball will take on Morris Hills. And on Saturday, girls lacrosse on the main field. Grounder foul. Parsippany Hills comes in Saturday morning, 10
We
a.m.
got two. Let's make a pitch.
Girls lacrosse, varsity, and then I think JV afterwards.
How's that sun?
Then on Sunday, Palm Sunday, we will be making the trek up to Milford, Pennsylvania for the Riverlax tournament. It's the middle school Riverlax tournament. 6th and 8th grade teams will feature all day on lacrosse. Here's the pitch.
Too good.
Liner down the right field line. It's going to hook foul. I think the next game we pick up for Pope John baseball is on the road. I believe it's Montville next week.
Good.
I have to check my schedule. I haven't gotten that
Come
far
on,
ahead.
execute pitch. Watch runner. Quick to the plate.
Runner on first, 2 down. Weeks to Lorette.
Good pitch.
Swing and a miss.
Good boy.
And Lorette goes down on strikes. Another strikeout by Weeks, and after 2.5 innings, Pope John and Randolph, no score here from Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey. We'll be back right after this on Pope John Lions TV on YouTube.
Boy, Weeksy. They call it a little longer. You're pulling it. Just a hair. Good though. Make good adjustments. Woo! Hold now. Good ball. We see that ever.
Welcome back to Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey for Pope John Lions baseball. Mike Formasano along with you, calling today's game between the Pope John Lions and the Randolph Rams. Bottom of the third action now as Brody O'Hara steps to the plate. No score between the Lions and the Rams. Andrew Dobus back on the hill for his third inning of work. Here's the first pitch to O'Hara. Ball inside, 1-0. On deck, the leadoff hitter, Will Ryan. Shortstop for Pope John. Ryan started with an incredible game against Morris Knowles to lead off the season. 4 for 4, along with 3 stolen bases. In there, called strike. Unfortunately, the Lions lost that game 7-2. They came back the next day to beat Morris Knowles here at Pope John High School by that same exact score, 7-2. Liner to left field, past the diving shortstop, and into left for a base hit. So O'Hara starts things right for Pope John here in this bottom of the third inning. And now the leadoff hitter for the lineup, number 20, Will Ryan. On deck for Pope John, number 31, Joseph Manco. O'Hara with a big lead off first. Dobers checks over. Here's the pitch. Square to bunt, foul. So Ryan bunts it foul, 0-1. The way both Meeks and Dobers are pitching may come down to 1 run or 2 runs. So Ryan trying to push O'Hara to second. Set the table for Banco. O'Hara now out to a lead. Here's the pitch. Ryan squares the butt, lays it down. Dobers fields. Throw to first in time. And the sacrifice works perfectly. 1-3. But O'Hara goes to second. So, 1 down. And now the batter, Joseph Banco. Oh, Ryan bunting that perfectly down the first base line. So now, runner on second, 1 down. Center fielder Joseph Banco at the dish. Dobers checks O'Hara at second. It's off to a big lead again. Pitch fouled off the catcher's mask. Laurent looks okay. 0-1. On deck for Pope John, Jack Portman, the right fielder. 0-1 to Banco. We're in the bottom of the third. Scoreless here at Pope John High School here on this Tuesday afternoon in early April. Dobers with the pitch. Liner to shortstop. Fields throws to third. In time to get O'Hara. So a nice play by A.J. Terry going to third as O'Hara took off from second, and he gets the out at third base. So scored 6-5 on the fielder's choice. And now a 2 down. It is Jack Portman, number 11, at the plate. Banco on first. Portman checks out of the box for a second. On deck for Pope John, number 3, Nick Struble. Dobers checks Banco at first. Here's the pitch. Side, ball 1. Now Dobers. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Throw to second. Not in time. Banco swipes second base. And now another runner on scoring position for Pope John. Two outs here, bottom of the third. Banco on second. Portman at the plate. Pope John looking to take a lead here in this bottom of the third. Dobers with the pitch. Liner to third. Past the third baseman and into left field. Here comes Banco. He'll score. Portman to second. And he stops there. A 2-out double for Jack Portman. And the Lions take a 1-0 lead. So Portman able to line that down the third base line, past a diving third baseman Griffin Carroll, and into left field. Banco comes around from second to score. Portman into second with a double, and the Lions up 1-0. Now the batter, Nick Struble. 1-0 Lions here, bottom of the third. Dobers checks Portman. Here's the pitch. High fly ball down the left field line. And the catch is made by A.J. Terry, who runs down the left field line into foul territory to make the play. But not before Pope John scores on a double by Jack Portman, scoring Joseph Banco. And after 3 innings, it's Pope John 1, Randolph no score. We'll be back for top of the 4th action right here at Pope John High School, right after this on Pope John Lions TV on YouTube.
How hard was it to figure out the other day? They put all the fucking errors through this choice.
know what I mean? Because that counts. I don't want to jinx it. Oh, I'm talking about this side of things. They're not finding Go, Wade.
Welcome back to Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey for Pope John Lions baseball.
4, 5, 6.
Mike Formasano here calling today's action as the Pope John
4, 5,
Lions
6.
taking a 1-0 lead over the Randolph Rams. A 2-out double by Jack Portman scoring Joseph Manco, getting the Lions on the board. And now Beckett Weeks out for his 4th inning of work. And the batter steps in, his counterpart, number 23, Andrew Dobris. Here's the pitch by Weeks. Swing and a miss, strike one. It looked like Dobris would have gotten out of trouble in that bottom of the 3rd inning as O'Hara was forced at third base to make it 2 out.
Good pitch.
Inside.
Good pitch.
But then Manco on second after a stolen base. It was Portman poking one down the left field line, scoring Manco, and giving the Lions a 1-0 advantage. Here's the pitch by Weeks. Fouled off behind home plate, out of play. 1-2 count to Dobris. On deck for Randolph is number 16, Andrew Swanwick.
Make a pitch.
Here's the pitch by Weeks.
Good pitch.
High. 2-2. Counts even. Dobris, the cleanup hitter for Randolph. Rams 3-3 in the season. Pope John 1-2. Lions looking to get back to 500 today.
Come on out.
High. Full count now on Dobris. They'll resume this home and home tomorrow at Randolph High School. Now the pitch. Fouled off. So the count remains full, 3-2. Top of the 4th inning here at Pope John High School. Just the 4th game in the season for the Lions. 1-0 here at home, 0-2 on the road. Here's the pitch by Weeks. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Dobris goes down on strikes. Ring up another K for Beckett Weeks. Now the batter, number 16, Andrew Swanwick. Swanwick, the center fielder today for Randolph. Weeks at the belt. Now the pitch. Outside, ball 1.
Split the plate. Let's go. Here we go, kids.
Now the delivery. Liner down the first base line, out of play.
Let's go 1-6. Let's go, kid. Go back in. Hey.
On deck for Randolph, number 3, Sal Madolo. The left fielder worked the walk last time up. Here's Weeks with the pitch. High fly ball to right field. The right fielder for Pope John, Portman after it, makes the catch just on the other side of the foul line. And so now 2 down here in the top of the 4th inning. Portman may have actually caught that on the fair side of the right field line, but it was running foul there.
It's not working.
Mark it 9 in your book. 2 outs here, top of the 4th. Now the batter, Sal Madolo. Weeks looks in. Here's the pitch. Fouled off, out of play. 0-1 to Madolo. On deck for Randolph, number 13, is Joey Bosatina. Pitch by Weeks.
Good pitch.
Low.
We got that changeup.
Now it looks in. And the pitch. Outside.
Fastball's middle. Let's go.
Two outs here, top of the fourth inning. Weeks delivers. Low. 3-1.
That's on me. That's on me, Weeks.
Sun starting to peek out here from the clouds. It's overcast, but definitely not threatening rain. Here's a pitch. In there, called strike. So full count to Sal Modolo. Two outs here, top of the fourth. Weeks looks in. Here's a pitch.
Yep.
In there, called strike 3. And Weeks racks up another K. We are through 3.5 here at Pope John High School. It's the Lions 1, the Randolph Rams no score. We'll be back for bottom of the fourth action right after this on Pope John Lions TV on YouTube. Welcome back to Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey for Pope John Lions baseball. Mike Formisano along with you calling today's action as the Pope John Lions baseball team lead the Randolph Rams by a score of 1-0. Andrew Pammy, the catcher, to the box. Lead off the bottom of the fourth. Dobrus out for his fourth inning of work. Here's the first pitch as the wind kicks up here, 1-0. It's been doing this all day. It'll calm down for a few minutes, and then the wind just starts firing back up again.
Come on, babe.
1-0 to Pammy. Inside, 2-0. On deck for Pope John, number 32, Evan Johnson. Johnson playing first base today. 2-0 to Pammy. Here's the pitch. In there, called strike. 2-1. These two teams will travel to Randolph tomorrow for the back end of the home and home. Pitch by Dobrus.
Yeah.
High fly ball down the left field line. Foul ball, just missed a homer. Wow.
No. Open. It wouldn't have gone over.
Wouldn't have gone over? I would have landed just short. It's a long way out there. Now Dobrus with the pitch. Low. You can see the outfield fence out there. It's definitely a ways. Have to get measurements. Dobers with the pitch. Fouled off by Pammy. Oh, he was swinging for the fences there.
Got that. Oh, dang, let's go. Let's go, Pam. Come on, Pam.
Senior catcher at the plate. Pitch. High. Ball 4. So Pammy works a walk. And again, Pope John gets their leadoff man on. And so now, as the catcher courtesy, number 36, Jason Snyder, will go out to run for Pammy. Pammy gave that one a ride down the left field line. Just missed a homer. We're still waiting for Pope John's first home run of the season. Perhaps today. Johnson at the plate. Snyder on first, running for Pammy. Normal size lead for Snyder. Now Johnson squares the bunt. Dobers looks Snyder back. And Johnson steps out of the box. Lucas Meseros on deck for Pope John, number 54. Johnson squares again. High. And Snyder goes to second. Drops the ball. The shortstop. No, that's the second baseman, number 1, Mason Wilson. Dropped the ball. They had Snyder dead to rights. He stopped halfway between first and second, then started back up again. By the time he got down there, the ball was already there, but Wilson had dropped it, and that allows Snyder to get into second base. So it all works out for Pope John. No outs, and now Johnson can swing away. Swing and a miss, so he fouled it. So Snyder on second. Shadow's starting to come in from third baseline. 1-1 count to Johnson. Now the pitch. High fly ball down the right center field into the gap. Here comes Snyder. Johnson the second. And he gets in there standing. Snyder scores 2-0. Pope John. So it worked out for Pope John that they took the bunt off of Johnson as he's able to swing away, and he drives one into the gap in right center field. And the Lions take a 2-0 lead. Now the batter, number 54, Lucas Meseros. On deck, Miles Masson. Now Dobers at the belt. Pitch. High fly ball to right field. Right fielder drops it. It bounces right off the heel of the glove of the right fielder, Matthew Brune. That's going to allow Johnson to get the third.
Time is out. John, remember we said you're going to cheer for your team, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now the manager comes out for Randolph to talk to Dobers. An error on the play by the right fielder Matthew Brune will set up first and second for Pope John when we return. 2-0 Pope John over Randolph. We'll be back right after this on Pope John Lions TV on YouTube.
Here we go, base runners. Here we go.
Welcome back to Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey for Pope John Lions baseball. Mike Formasano along with you, calling today's game. As Miles Masson steps up to the plate with runners on the corners, no outs here, bottom of the 4th inning. Dobers with the pitch, squares the bunt, lays it down the third baseline. Nice bunt, and the third baseman, Kenny, has no play. Griffin Carroll picks it up off the third baseline, and with that, Johnson scores. 3-0 Pope John. Meseros goes to second, Bizzo to first on a bunt single, scoring Johnson and making the score 3-0.
Where's Will?
So now the hitter, number 5, Brody O'Hara. First and second, no outs. Bottom of the fourth, Lions with a 3-0 lead. Squares the bunt, fouls it off.
Do a job now. Let's go. Do a job.
Meseros on second, Zone on first. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth. The Lions have built a 3-0 lead. On deck for Pope John, number 20, Will Ryan. Wind starting to kick in again. Dobers with the pitch. O'Hara bunts, foul. So now 2 strikes, and you'd expect O'Hara to be swinging away.
Move the runners now.
Dobers checks the runner at second. Looks in to Lawrence. At the belt. Now the pitch. Fouled off. So O'Hara was swinging away there. Count remains 0-2. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth. Excuse me. Wind just kicks right up. Bottom of the fourth. We're out in the elements, obviously. 2 strikes to O'Hara. Nobody out. Bottom of the fourth. 3-0 Pope John. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So O'Hara down on strikes, and now the batter, the shortstop, number 20, Will Ryan. 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. 2 in already for the Lions in this bottom of the fourth as they hold a 3-0 lead. Pitch by Dobris. In there, called strike. On deck for Pope John, Joseph Manco, number 31, the center fielder. Here's the pitch by Dobris. Grounded to third. Third baseman Fields throws to second in time. That's all they're going to get. So Griffin Carroll, the third baseman for Randolph, goes to Mason Wilson, the second baseman. He gets Masson at second, but now runners on corners.
Yeah, you're right.
So now the batter with 2 down here is Joseph Manco. Manco with runners on first and third.
Here we go, Joe. Here we go, Joe. Hey, Joe.
Here's a pitch. Now to the shortstop, Terry. Fires across the diamond in time. And that's the 3rd out of the inning. But not before the Lions plate 2 runs. And at the end of 4, it's Pope John 3. Randolph, no score. We'll start up a new feed, and we'll come back right after the inning break for top of the 5th action right here from Pope John High School. Pope John leads Randolph 3-0 right here on Pope John Lions TV on YouTube.
79.